Going on, Mindful Combat. Welcome to my channel. So basically, I'm very excited to get this project rolling. If you're a fan of MMA or boxing in any vicinity, you're in the right place. I'm going to be providing breakdowns of fights upcoming. I'm going to be looking at prospects and talking about fights upcoming to look out for on the boxing scene as well. So I think a good place to start for the first video would be our upcoming fight between Oscar Rivas and Fabio Maldonado. I think that's going to be a big fight for boxing. In a lot of ways, not necessarily that it's the biggest fight of upcoming prospects in the world, but it's going to provide a potential contender, especially on the regional scenes in North America, for someone to prove themselves against. So now let's have a closer look at the fight. They hold a combined record of 50-0. So Oscar Rivas is 24-0 coming into the fight, and he's fighting Fabio Maldonado, who's 26-0. This is an interesting fight because in a lot of ways it's almost reminiscent of the Floyd Mayweather-Conor McGregor fight that happened last year. The difference is Fabio Maldonado, being from the MMA side of things, is also an experienced boxer. Fabio Maldonado as a boxer is 26-0, but in the world of mixed martial arts is 24-12. Now, he's got some great experience in the world of mixed martial arts. His boxing resume, well, his opponents in boxing, it's somewhat laughable. He's fought low-level journeymen throughout his career. I think his last opponent was something like 6 wins and 6 losses. As being 25-0 at the time, that's a bit shambolic, but I think it's clear what he's doing. Padding his record, and he's falling into this fight. But when you're looking at his MMA record, he's very much a respected commodity in the MMA world. He's never been a world champion per se. I mean, he won the FNG light heavyweight title, but never won a true world light heavyweight title. He has got some credentials though. He's been in the ring with the likes of Fedor Emelianenko, who's regarded as the greatest heavyweight of all time in the world of mixed martial arts. He's fought Rampage Jackson, also a legend in his own right, Pride and UFC champion. And he's been in the ring with Glover Teixeira, which was an exciting fight as well, almost knocked out Glover Teixeira. Oscar Rivas, on the other hand, is seen in a lot of ways as a true prospect of the game. Being 24-0, I think it's easy to see why. He's also won a silver medal in the Pan American Games. But the thing with Oscar Rivas is he's also an unproven commodity. So although he might technically be the supposed prospect, he hasn't really shown nothing of note. He hasn't really been impressive in his build-up, coming up in the ranks. He fought last year against a gentleman named Gabriel Nguma. I'm pretty sure I didn't pronounce that correctly. But he looked pretty poor in that performance. He gassed out pretty quickly. He wasn't throwing crisp punches. He wasn't throwing crisp, sharp punches. He was throwing a lot of looping punches. If Oscar Rivas has something going for him, it's going to be his explosiveness. He does carry power in his punches, which greatly diminishes past rounds. So now let's do a little bit of a breakdown of the fight. So first things first, you've got to give the speed advantage to Oscar Rivas. He's the younger, more explosive guy. Naturally, his legs are going to be fresher. He's fresher himself. He's faster. When it comes to skill, I suppose technically he would be the more polished boxer of the two, being that he is the true boxer. His skill set is fundamentally boxing, whereas Fabio Maldonado has a more varied skill set in an overall fighting game, and this is a boxing match, so that doesn't really count, so you've got to give that to him as well. His conditioning, Oscar Rivas' conditioning, was pretty much appalling in the Gabriel Nguma fight, so I think that's something to consider. His conditioning wasn't great, whereas Fabio Maldonado, in the world of MMA, not that he's been known for having great conditioning per se, but he's been known for hanging in there when the goings got rough, and he's seen it through. He had a war with Glover Teixeira, almost got completely destroyed for a round, hung in there, almost knocked out Glover Teixeira, almost got the knockout. His chin is a key asset coming into this fight, and I think odd makers are going to have it as a blowout for Oscar Rivas, being that he is the upcoming touted prospect. He is the hype commodity in the fight. I don't see it as being so one-sided. I don't see it as being so black and white. I see it as being a lot more competitive fight. I think Fabio Maldonado should be able to survive the early rounds, particularly if we're to go in the Gabriel Nguma fight. If he was able to survive, I think Fabio Maldonado, through a career of surviving tough fights, he should be able to survive this. There is an X factor there in that Fabio Maldonado may be slightly diminished. He is 38 years old now. He has had wars. He did just get knocked out by Nikita Krylov and did lose his FNG light heavyweight title. Those are factors to consider. In terms of official prediction, I'm going to go with Oscar Rivas to get the victory here. He's probably going to get a knockout at some point. I'm assuming early. If he doesn't get early, I think this fight can get really tricky. I think Fabio Maldonado can start to wear on him, and I think Oscar Rivas could find himself some trouble in the later rounds. But officially, I'm going to go with Oscar Rivas. Should be exciting. Like I said, if this is your first time checking out any of my content, please like the video, subscribe, and I look forward to doing this journey with you guys.